Hey y'all, what it do? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and I'm on my way to the Dulles Expo Center for the CSA show. Randall Cobb's gonna be there. Tony Dorsett's gonna be there. I got some things I got Dorsett to sign. Our draft pick Connor McGovern. I think Gallup was supposed to be there, but I don't know if Gallup's still gonna be there because I think he was going to Leighton Vander Esch's wedding or whatever. So I guess I'll see when I get there. I don't know exactly, but yeah, Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White, I believe, is going to be there too. So out there in Virginia, I'm on my way out there now. Check that out. I'm probably going to do a video when I'm there, show you guys some footage of the inside of the place and all the people in there trying to get all the autographs because it's going to be a bunch of Cowboy fans in there today. And it's crazy because we live in the DMV, what we call DC, Maryland, Virginia. We have a large fan base out here. I mean, it's almost like as if we were in Texas. I actually think it's more Cowboy fans in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area than there are Redskin fans, and that's crazy because that's the home team here. Because it's the Redskins and the Ravens are like 40 minutes apart here. Basically, technically, we got two Maryland teams because Redskin Stadium is not really in DC; it's in Landover, Maryland. But and then you go from that stadium, and it's like 40 minutes from there to Baltimore to the Raven Stadium, and it's crazy. But what they call it, the Beltway, the Battle of the Beltway, or whatever. But yeah, so in this video, real quick, I'm gonna another turning the page on my taking a look at. I told you guys in the last video that I was going to do one on Tony Pollard, our fourth round draft pick. So yeah, so here we go. So Tony Pollard, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, never left. Had offers to a bunch of different colleges, decided to stay in Memphis and play for his home team, and drew national attention, this guy, when he was in college because he's just a dynamic runner. I mean, he's so fast, he's so shifty. He's a running back. He played wide receiver sometimes, and the special teams guy all day, kickoff returner, punt returner, all that. This guy is he just does it all. He was drafted in the fourth round of this draft, 2019. Of course, if you guys ain't been living on a rock, you already know. He was drafted in the fourth round for us. So you look at the fourth round for the Cowboys. Lately, we've been doing pretty good in the fourth round. We got Dak Prescott in 2016 in the fourth round. Now you got Tony Pollard. Now it's a lot of people have many different opinions on him. I will say that some people think he's just a gadget player, kind of like how Tavon Austin, or not even Tavon Austin, because Tavon Austin could do different things, but how they play Lucky Whitehead. Now, he's not a Lucky Whitehead. Lucky Whitehead didn't have nearly as much of the skills that this guy has. Now, Lucky Whitehead was fast, he was shifty, and they probably could have used him a little better, but I think that Tony Pollard can do much more than Lucky Whitehead ever could, because again, I think that Tony Pollard can be a runner for you when Ezekiel Elliott gets, sits down and takes a break. You know what I mean? Like when Weasel wants to take a spell, you know what I mean? You could bring Tony Pollard in to do some things. Again, I believe with Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator now, we could do some things. We could move some things around. We could get these guys moving in motion before the ball is snapped. Like I said, you could line them up wide like a wide receiver. I think that, me personally, Tavon Austin is important to this team too, because I think that a lot of people want to get rid of him, but if he stays healthy, he can definitely be an asset to this team and do some things. So I look at that as a positive. Now, you use both of these guys interchangeably and get these guys out there and have one guy line them as a running back, one outside wide. You don't know what the hell the Cowboys are going to do. And you still got the threat of Dak Prescott running the ball himself. So that RPO is going to be something serious this season, I believe, specifically. But again, as far as Tony Pollard go, I'm not going to give anything high praise. We haven't seen him do anything yet. We haven't even gotten to training camp yet. We're drawing near to that, which is great. That'll be coming up on, I think, the 23rd, 24th or whatever. So again, excited to see these guys start banging around in training camp. I want to see these guys in preseason games, see what they can do when the lights come on, because again, You could be a great practice player, but when them lights come on, you got to come out there and produce, and you got to play hard. So that's just how I feel about that. But I really think that Tony Pollard is going to be a good player for us. That was a good pick in the 4th round. I think that we're going to look back on this pick and be like, damn, we really got a good guy there. So he in college, he was considered one of the best kickoff returners out there. I mean, just period. In 2018, he tied the NCAA record with 7 kickoff returns for touchdown, averaging 30.1 yards per catch. Now, running kickoff backs for touchdown is exciting. Now, in the league, you're not going to see that much of that because you got these guys are bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, and they're smarter. In college, you could do a lot of that stuff and get away with it, but you know, when you get to the NFL, you got to find your way. Now, I'm not going to say he's just going to come out here and just be running, because no player really does that. But the fact that he's fast, and the fact that this team is really good at blocking, especially in the run game, special teams, you see all the yards Ezekiel Elliott gets. I mean, a lot of that is him, and a lot of that is the offensive line. Our offensive line is very mobile and athletic, and that's what I love about this team, because we're able to shift around and do some things. So, look out for Tony Pollard to do multiple things this season. Yeah, I look at it as a positive. A fun fact about him, Pollard's family owns a barbecue joint out in Memphis. Now, those of you that are, shout out to you guys that are from Tennessee. I think Thomas Gear, I think he's from Tennessee. Those of my subscribers that are from Tennessee or been in the Tennessee area, not taking nothing away from Texas barbecue, because I've had it all. Texas barbecue is amazing. Memphis barbecue is great. I think top 3, Texas, Memphis, and Kansas City, top 3 barbecue states that I've had barbecue from. Now, his family owns this place. They've owned it since '96. It's popular throughout the regulars and the tourists that come through and check out the town. Now, I haven't been to Tennessee in a while, but next time I go back to Memphis, I'm definitely going to check out his family spot, because, you know, take some pictures and you know what I mean, because he's a Cowboy now. So, you know, you look at that and you're like, hey, he's on the team. Now, let me know what you guys think about Tony Pollard. I know that when he got drafted, a lot of people were excited. I was definitely excited. You look at his highlights, he's definitely a dynamic player. Very shifty. You've seen him in OTA practices and mini camp, and he's just running around. Now, granted, there was no tackling, and it's just practice, but you see how shifty he is. You see how he just that stop and go burst is not that common with NFL players, because if you could stop and go on a dime and just switch directions and just be the other, I'm telling you, like, I mean, you doing a damn thing. And I look at that and I'm like, that's all positive. Now, as far as this wide receiver goes, because you look at the running backs, you look at the wide receivers and how everything correlates, you got to be happy about what we're building this offseason going into this year. You got your Amari Cooper, you got your Randall Cobb, you got your Michael Gallup, your top 3. I would put Allen Hurns in there. If Allen Hurns comes in training camp and hits the ground running, he's important to you. Why? Because he could play all of the wide receiver positions. You want those guys on the field first. You want the guys that have the position flex that can move around and with the ability to do, when Kellen Moore says, hey, I want you guys over here and moving this way, they're able to do that with no problems. So that's what I'm looking at. Then you got Tavon Austin. If Tavon Austin stays healthy, if he makes his team, you got these undrafted players. It's a lot of guys. But when I look at my top, those are the guys I'm looking at. I'm looking at those veterans. I'm looking at those veterans to step up and do those things. Now, granted, if John V. Johnson could somehow slide into this 53-man, so be it. But again, there's always a practice squad. I know there's limited numbers on the practice squad. I know other teams can poach guys off practice squad, but they can do like they did with Rico Gathers. They can slide them a little bit more money to be like, look, we have plans for you in the future. We just can't get you on the roster right now. But if you stay with us on the practice squad, we'll slide you a couple of thousand more or whatever, a check, and you know, just so you can stay with us, because we want to have you in the fold. We want to use you on scout team, because again, you guys got to remember, scout team is important too. When you're game planning against another team and you're looking at what you're going to do as far as your scout team players and trying to mimic other players on other teams, like when we're playing the Saints and you're looking at a guy like Alvin Kamara and how fast and shifty he is, you can use a guy like Tony Pollard or the Miles guy or Jon'Vea Johnson. You can use these faster guys on scout team to, not Tony Pollard because he's definitely gonna make the team, but you look at guys like Jon'Vea Johnson. If he's on the practice squad, you can use him as a scout team player in practice during the week to practice, like, okay, he's Alvin Kamara, act as if he's Alvin Kamara, defense come attack. So again, all that stuff helps out. But like I said, let me get out of here so I get to the CSA show. I'm gonna do another video when I'm there. Let me know what you guys think about Tony Pollard. I know you love him just like we all do. How about them Cowboys, y'all? Thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Been with me through my journey and everything like that, and more to come, y'all. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all later.